treat you good. Hey, we're Young the Giant, and we're rockaholics.
Here at rockarazzi.com, 98.7fm.com, and of course, the Sideshow Countdown with Nikki Sixx. Young the Giant, you guys. Listen, before we drink out of the moonshine, I want to talk to you a little bit about the writing process for this record. Was this kind of evenly distributed throughout the band, or is one of you coming in with an idea or a riff on the acoustic guitar and then it kind of bleeds out from there? Can you talk to me about that?
Kind of both.
Yeah, it changes. It really depends. It evolves. There'll be some songs that start just from a pure jam. You know, no one really knows like who started it first. And a good majority actually of the songs are like that. And then there's some songs where Jake or Eric or any one of us will bring a guitar riff and it'll start from that crux. But for the most part, everything is very mutual and evenly spread out.
And in terms of moving forward past, I know this record is just starting to take off, but are you guys already thinking about what's next?
After we wrap this up, we've got about a week and a half left of stuff to be on our plate, and then we're moving to actually just write new stuff here and to past Evil Rock into a house to write together and kind of just relax and enjoy some time off and write and kind of get back into the vibe of what it is to actually have a life. So.
Well, you know, listen, at the beginning of 2011, had you anticipated that this year would go the way that it's gone? I mean, come on, it's catching fire.
I don't think so. I mean, when we first got signed, we had a very naive idea of the whole industry, and then it took a couple months when we were first starting out, like first of three, second of three, opening up for these bands, that we realized, this could never happen, or this could take years and years and years for us to get to this level of like these headlining bands, and we were ready for that. Like we were expecting it, and then just out of the blue, the last couple of months, things have just gotten pretty ridiculous, and it's really strange for us.
I'm always interested because there's lots of good bands. There's some even great bands out there, and some just don't push over that wall. And a band like yours has managed to kind of bust through that threshold. And sometimes you just can't put your finger on what it was. Do you guys have any inclination on what that meant? Is it good marketing? Is it just working your ass off?
I think there's a little bit of all of that. Like every part of our team is amazing, and they've pushed this record leaps and bounds. But I think we've always been not cocky, but we felt confident with just our dynamic because we started writing together when we were 15 and 16 years old, and that's all we know, like when we write, and we have some faith in that because we've been doing it for such a long time together. And like we don't know what exactly it was, but maybe people can see that we're really close on stage and that we're like actually friends and have been actually playing music together and writing together for a long time.
I can tell you when I did an interview with Mumford & Sons way back before they kind of caught fire, kind of a similar situation. And I think part of it is that you have to want to root for the band, right? And when I talked to you guys and when we spoke earlier, you kind of come away from it and you're like, you know what? I'm rooting for you. And there's just there's like an intangible about that. And I think that's, for whatever it's worth, I think a lot of your fan base and the people that come in contact with you and your music, you kind of want you guys to win, and I think that's what's going on.
We've been really blessed with just like amazing fans, and like we see it firsthand at shows, we see it online on Facebook, Twitter, and like our fans. It's one thing to like a band and to listen to them. It's another thing to go tell all your friends, go listen to this band, and go tell their friends. Right. So we're really fortunate to have like really passionate fans, and I really think it's them. Like it's the fans who've really got us to this level.
I think also like we took a very grassroots approach to it when we were kids and kind of just played a lot of shows just like whatever way we could do possible, and we had makeshift tours that were kind of just like playing at frat parties or playing at someone's school and
DIY
whatever. And like I think like it's crazy to me when I like travel to these other places now and I bump into people that knew us when we were little kids and and have been rooting from then. It's really nice just to like see actually how far our like legwork has actually gone, It's a good thing.
Is there a restaurant that you have to go to when you're on tour, when you're traveling, that you guys are like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to this city because we can eat there?
I mean, for me, like, Austin has great food trucks, and that's always like, when I go to Austin, I'm like, oh, I wonder what drunken food I'll encounter later
The
on.
food truck's taking off. It's
They're great.
And
There's this amazing Thai restaurant
Oh, yeah.
in Lincoln, Nebraska, that we would not have discovered if our transmission had not blown up 2 days before the tour. Like we were driving, with Reno in the Diamond store back in last fall, and it started in Boston. We were driving from LA to Boston. It was like a 4-day drive, and on the second day, transmission blew on a Sunday night. So like we found this restaurant, and it was like some of the best Thai food I've ever had.
Wow.
Where's
In
it called
Nebraska.
Blue Orchid or something.
Blue Orchid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue Orchid.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Blue Orchid. Yeah. And then New York, anywhere, pretty
Well,
much.
There's that really good Thai restaurant in Leeds too. in the
Yeah,
UK.
Leeds.
Nashville.
They're
Burger
It's
great.
Up.
called Burger Up. in
Okay.
Nashville.
We love food.
Right. You
Yeah.
guys watch Man vs. Food?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you guys do that? Can any of you guys?
Maybe
do
I
that?
can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Eating
call him
challenge.
the trash can. Garbage disposal, this guy over here.
Awesome. And do you guys have any pre-gig rituals? Like, for example, tonight, will you guys do anything in particular before you go on and play?
When we
Well, we usually have a really awkward huddle. That is usually the ringleader is our tour manager Stu, and we just kind of like whoever is around us, we encompass them and kind of like bring them into a little circle and spew nonsense.
Pretty much say nothing. And
Uh-huh.
then,
I
and then let's go. Samir always says, "Let's go crazy."
say that every day.
And then we go and we play. So it's-
Awesome. And do you remember the last thing you stole?
Oh yeah, I was in. Well, there's a couple things, but one of them we're not going to mention.
Harvard?
Francois' latest acquirement we're not going to
From
mention.
Harvard. We're not going to
Yeah.
say that. Harvard University.
You stole something from Harvard?
Maybe.
Francois
I
stole something.
I love this.
I stole
University.
when I was
Allegedly.
when I was
Okay,
in,
allegedly, right.
when I was in
Penthouse.
Europe, I needed like a power supply for my pedals, and Chris Fillery is our tour manager over there. Is quite a character, and him and I went into a electronics store like super early in the morning. We're the first ones in there, and like we couldn't find this cable anywhere. But I found that on the laptops on
We were
display.
in Brussels, right?
Yeah, we were in Brussels. The laptops on display had it, so I literally like was like getting like underneath the display thing and like jacking the cable because I needed it for the show. And I was just like, I got it, I like held up in the air. I was like, Chris, let's go. We just ran out. It was the
Can you
funniest.
imagine
It's so funny.
getting arrested for that?
Oh, I
In
wouldn't-
Brussels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would they do to you in
I
Belgium?
don't know. Probably
Eat
just
this
give-
chocolate.
Give this
Right.
chocolate. That's exactly what I was
No
gonna say.
No. Okay, I'm gonna stop and let you guys rest before your performance tonight. But I don't want to stop the interview or conclude the interview before we all take part in this lovely beverage called moonshine. I've never actually had this before, but they hand me this at the station. They say, you know what, maybe the guys want some moonshine.
I'll try a little bit.
Oh, is it white corn whiskey?
As a matter of fact, it is white corn whiskey.
100%.
100% corn whiskey.
blind.
I think you're supposed to mix it with something, but you guys are rock
Yeah,
stars, so
sure.
yeah.
It's moonshine.
Moonshine.
Room temperature too.
I'm down.
Doesn't smell that much.
Yeah.
Waff.
Yeah.
Just makes my brain
Mm.
spin.
Okay.
It smells good.
So here at 98.7, we have
We don't fuck around.
we don't mess around, and we're gonna salute to Young the Giant and an amazing 2011,
Well, thank you very much.
and that's probably good.
That is
Yeah.
good. I don't really want too much of this.
Okay, and
This is like pig pressure.
yeah. Okay, and to 2012, you guys, and to a great show at the 98.7 Penthouse
Thank
at the
you.
historic Hollywood Tower.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers.
Young the Giant. Bye. Salute.
Salute.
Will I treat you good?